Hello, I'm Paul French, director of the Southern Oregon Repertory Singers, and I'm thrilled to invite you to our upcoming James M. Collier New Works Festival. This year we'll be featuring the work of Joby Talbot, who's on my left here, and his beautiful new cantata, Sheen of Dew on Flowers, which was premiered in London this past April, and we, I'm proud to say, are the second performance in the world. So, Joby, could you tell us a little bit about how the piece came into being?
Sure. So nice to be here with you, Paul, and so wonderful that you guys are doing this piece.
Thank you.
So it was commissioned by an organisation called Independent Opera back in London, which is where I'm from. I thought about doing something that maybe was about a famous historical or mythological love affair, and maybe trying to tell a story. I kind of figured that there's quite a lot of choral and orchestral music that is kind of epic and bombastic and ceremonial, but I wanted to do something that could have, at least in part, something that was more intimate. And I wanted to do something where I decided early on that I was going to have, as well as a choir and orchestra, I was going to have at least one, as it turned out, two soloists. And I wanted to do something where, rather like in opera, when it's at its most effective, you can really relate to the character being played by the singer. This is something I hadn't really seen very much in concert choral work, in oratorios or cantatas. So that even though the mezzo-soprano and the baritone in my piece don't act out specific characters, they do take kind of broader, less defined roles, and the piece tells the story, kind of a love affair. From the first meeting of the couple, that sort of incredibly exciting burst of love that hopefully people have experienced in their life, because there's nothing better, through to the kind of the maturing and the becoming more complex, high noon of a relationship, through to the sudden death of one of the two partners. Now, this piece, the texts I use are, I think I spent longer collecting the texts together and deciding what to set than I did actually writing the music. And I was in, of all places, Ashland Public Library, one of the great public libraries. And I suddenly there was this, as I said, this sort of motherlode of resource opened up to me, and I found all these poems. And there's a particular anthology by Jane Hirschfield, which is her translations of sacred poetry by women. It stretches back to some of the earliest written texts that we have, thousands and thousands of years ago, from all over the world. The earliest piece we use in A Sheen of Dew on Flowers is a text attributed to the Queen of Sheba. So this is still hundreds of years BC. It's about 1000 BC. And the most recent is from the 19th century, and it's a text attributed to an Inuit shaman woman that was collected by some Norwegian explorers in the Arctic. It was just amazing to find these things. The thing that really hits me, and hopefully will hit the audience who come to the concert, is just how immediate these voices from hundreds and hundreds of years ago sound in Jane's beautiful translations, and then delivered by our incredible cast of soloists.
Because love hasn't changed.
No.
And those feelings, that to me, I was really struck by the poetry and how it moved me, how very real the grief at the end, that soliloquy. Oh my God, it's very heart-rendingly beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I really wanted to do something that took you there and didn't kind of skirt around the issue.
Yeah.
And
mission accomplished there.
Again, I'm trying to find sort of fertile ground to explore musically with this piece that hasn't been, already, ploughed by many other composers. And this idea of the mezzo soprano being left suddenly alone and trying to deal with that, and all the different kind of emotions you go through in that journey through grief.
To me, it feels the music is, I hope this is okay to say, cinematic. You get this moment that comes, so then it flows right into something else. It just the emotional breadth from the great joy and fervor and excitement to the poignant, the sheen of dew on flowers, the last line, our lives are like the sheen of dew on flowers, the fragility and the beauty, and we look around us and we recognize that that's how life is. It's fragile and beautiful, and this piece is a wonderful reflection of all of the tapestry of life, if you will.
That's the idea.
This is the first performance in North America, second performance in the world, extraordinary new piece, will be the whole of the second half. The first half of the concert will include music of Paul Malor, who we've done before, Eric Eschenwatz, a newly composed piece by Jody French, who is a favorite here, of course, and a stirring piece by Tarek O'Regan on Neruda poetry. The text is very timely about do we still have time to live well and justly? And the other composer I should mention briefly here is Will Todd, who a year from now at this festival, he is writing a major work for orchestra and choir that we'll be giving the world premiere of in a year. And we'll do one of his beautiful, God shall take away all their tears is the text. So it's going to be a big heart evening, music from all kinds of different styles, very engaging, soul-enhancing music, and music, much of which you will have never heard anywhere, and including the North American premiere of Joby's brilliant new cantata, Sheen of Dew on Flowers. Please come and join us the 29th of February. That's the Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon the next day, March 1st at 3 o'clock in the SOU Recital Hall. Our last concert sold out, so you want to get your tickets early.